Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Nova and welcome back to Destiny Tracker. So today we have an exclusive interview from the Daily Star over in the UK. Now basically they sat down and they got a chance to talk with the Crucible lead for Destiny 2, Lars Bacon, but we found out some very important information through this interview. So first off, Trials has been changed to 4v4 to keep up with the new theme of 4v4 PvP. However, we now know that more changes besides that have been made to Trials, and they're so excited for us to see them, and they're expecting it to blow our minds at launch, well, sort of post-launch of Destiny 2, because I don't think, from what I've heard so far, that Destiny 2 is going to be launching with Trials. I think they're going to do the same thing that they did with Destiny 1, where Destiny launched, and then we got Trials after to sort of, you know, hype up the PvP experience as we go along through the life cycle of Destiny. Now, besides that, this is actually extremely important. 6v6, according to Lars, is permanently out of Destiny 2, simply because Destiny 2 was completely designed around 4v4 PvP combat, and although they can go in and develop 6v6 PvP game modes, it would be a bit tough considering all the new changes that they made with the super cooldowns, the power ammo, only one person getting power ammo. That means you would have one person just mowing down 6 people. You know, it would be a bit tough. So if they were to create that, they would have to yet again tweak a ton of stuff in PvP, which would end up affecting PvE, because remember, changes in either versions of the game in PvE or PvP affects the other. So 6v6 permanently out so far as to what we know. Now, skipping through some of the stuff that we already knew, we're getting right to the important part of PC. Now, the next question that was asked in this interview is, you're now on PC. You've got that connection with Blizzard as well, which is important, by the way, because Blizzard is top notch. I mean, they have Overwatch, they have Hearthstone, they have a ton of fun competitive esports games out there that rarely have any issues with them. I mean, look at Overwatch. Overwatch is top tier competitive gameplay, and it keeps people on every single day. Destiny as a game by itself kept people on every single day. Weekend, nights, people would come home from the night shift and get on Destiny to make the reset time. So for them to go pair up with Blizzard as well, you're almost never gonna want to get off Destiny 2. You're gonna have that competitive experience, you're gonna have the PvE experience, you're gonna have the raids, you're gonna have the flashpoints, you're gonna have the call to arms game modes, we're gonna have the 4v4 trials. Now that PC is actually paired up with Blizzard, you could almost say that they're possibly, I mean, that's just a big hint towards Destiny and Bungie looking at an esports opener for Destiny. They have the competitive teams, we have Far Cognition's PvP, you have the people with the PvP legends. It's bound to happen. I'm just waiting for it, so this is exciting. But getting on to the rest of it, what are the chances of seeing a Destiny 2 PTR in the same way that we've seen in Overwatch, so you guys could try things before rolling them out? So Lars goes on to say, I can say that we internally do that already. Whether we ever decide to do a public one, I am not sure. There is no way to release a game like Destiny without having played it in a realistic environment, and in order for us to be confident in it, all the systems, we have to play it in real space. So while we have those things for our development of the game, whether we ever open them up to the public, I don't know. Like, maybe we just don't know. So basically, they have a PTR on the inside of Bungie internally so that they could test stuff for PC and console. However, they don't know if they're ever going to open up PTR. Now, for those who have been living under a rock, what a PTR basically is it's a pre-patch test. So if Bungie was to bring out a patch, multiple games do it. Overwatch does it. Elder Scrolls just now had one. So if you play Elder Scrolls Online, there's some patch notes that are basically going to come out in the next DLC. But what they do is they allow the players to play the new patch before it actually goes live for everybody. So a select amount of people who applied for the PTR can play it on PC and play it before everybody else, so that they can test it, give them their feedback, and then they can see if they're going to keep the changes or not. Sort of like a beta, basically. So it's a beta before the patch, basically. Now, for Destiny, That would be kind of tough, simply because everything releases on console first and PC last. PC is just now getting the beta, so for them to get a PTR for a patch before the console does is extremely tough to do. And it wouldn't be wise, because you wouldn't know how everything goes onto PC based off of what the PS4 and the Xbox One feedback gives you. And you definitely wouldn't know how everything would act on consoles because of the PC PTR. Those are two different worlds, and although it is the same game, they run differently for every single console and PC. So it would be tough. They could do it, but it would be tough. Now, continuing on with the interviewer goes on to say that, I'm sure it's no doubt complicated, as I just said, but surely it would also be beneficial to open that up. Now, I agree with him. It would be beneficial because you would be able to test out things before they hit live servers for the consoles and the PC, so that people wouldn't just get on one day and then realize, oh, my last word got nerfed, I didn't know that was coming, or, you know, yada yada, that and this. But at the same time, it would be tough. But anyway, Lars goes on to say, I mean, I'd have to think about it. Obviously, the benefits are people would get to see stuff early, and we would get feedback on it. But like, you know, the downside is it is complex enough to run a game like Destiny just with the team that we have, without also running a duplicate version of Destiny. That's in the future. It's a lot of work. So it's like, what's the best thing for the game? I don't know. I can't answer that question. It might be that we do something like this, but also it might not be the right thing for Destiny and the extra stress on the team. Now, for the most important thing the most important thing to me right now is the question that's coming up. And I explained this earlier with Blizzard and the esports community. Now, the interviewer goes on to say, a lot of the changes around the Crucible seem to be making it more competitive and having a more focused 4v4 game. Is there a chance that we could see Destiny 2 in any sort of esports environment? It's certainly more formatted for that scene than it was before. Lars goes on to say, that is a great question, and I agree, that is a fantastic question. Now, he says, I think Bungie has a long tradition of being active in the competitive realm. Starting way back in our previous games in Halo, it's something that we talk about a lot, but I also think the esports scene is really interesting, and I think players choose where they want to spend their time, and they like to choose and support the games that they love. If they decided Destiny is a space that they want to love and prop up in that way, then that's something we think we're interested in. Now, I want to stop right there because that's important. We do have a sort of esports community. You have teams like Primal and Bomb Squad Kittens and Luminosity and other esports teams that come from other games like Call of Duty that play Destiny on the daily basis that could easily kickstart the esports community if they haven't already. Not to mention that there are countless amounts of Destiny tournaments that go on within the Destiny community via Planet Destiny with PvP Legends and Far Cognitions. So for him to say that, kind of, it kind of grinds my gears just a little bit, because we already have a very prominent competitive community. So easily, once the game launches, they should already be going to Blizzard and saying, hey, we need to get our esports started, set us up here, set us up there, let's get these tournaments going, let's have fun, But continuing on, he goes to say, I don't want to presume that it is from the beginning. Yes, we want to make the game feel more comfortable in a tournament setting. That was one of our goals, but it doesn't mean that we go straight to like the World Championships. So basically saying they want the PvP to be competitive, but they also want it to be casual. Yet they want it to be sort of, in the middle. They basically want it to be in the middle of a competitive esports casual game kind of thing, where you can come home and play like you were playing esports, but you're not playing esports, you're still having casual fun. There's no ranking system or something like that. So hopefully they do change their mind, because I do want to have a ranking system. I don't know how many times I said it in Destiny where I wanted a ranking system for trials. We had sites like Destiny Tracker and other ELO sites where you could track your personal ranking and your team ranking with the diamonds and all that. But I want an individual ranking system inside of Destiny 2 where I can go and look at the leaderboards and be like, oh, that guy's the best hunter in the game. Oh, that guy's the best warlock in the game. And then maybe one day I can get on Twitch and go, oh, Blizzard is throwing a Destiny Esports tournament. Let me go and watch that, you know, or maybe my team actually gets in there, you know, and then all of a sudden you're watching a Destiny Tracker team play esports for charity or something, you know, like it would be amazing. They're already doing it. All they need is the good kickstart from Blizzard and to go and approach them and get this started. Now, besides that, I wish I could give you a definitive answer more than that, but I think the reality is we want people to feel comfortable there first, and if that's something that they want and we have the ability to support, then we'd love to support it. But if not, like, we're just happy to have the game too. So that's basically it. Now, rounding it up all in a nutshell, we have 4v4 trials, we have a possible PTR for PC with Blizzard, and we have a possible esports opener with Blizzard. I realize that this was a long video, but this is a very important topic, and I get extremely heavily involved in esports. I play esports everything. I was a starting esports player for Destiny when esports wasn't even there. I have slowed down a bit because obviously we don't have, you know, championships and stuff like that, and Destiny's regular life cycle is just dead, so there's no point in actually, you know, going competitive when it's pretty much fun summertime for Destiny. But if we happen to get the esports Kickstarter that we need with Blizzard and we receive PTRs and stuff, then we're taking what already is an extremely good game and just pushing it over. It's just going over the wall. It's the gold standard for all online multiplayer games at that point. So there you have it, guys. My name is Nova. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe to Destiny Tracker if you haven't already. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.